Andrew Stafford, president of Prevail, and we're back with another great one. Jesse Hernandez, welcome to Prevail.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Jesse comes with an unbelievable amount of experience in the 401k retirement business background. Jesse comes in as our Director of Retirement Strategies. Tell us a little bit about your background, what you've done, long time with Voya. It's a big deal.
Thanks, Andrew. I'm super excited to be here. 30 years in the business.
30 years. You don't look like you've been in it that long.
Well, thank you. I try to clean up. So I actually started at American Century. At the time, it was 20th Century.
Yeah.
Funny story.
Great Kansas City company.
Great Kansas City. And a great place to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So I started there. I was actually working out at a gym, and my mom kept telling me, get a job. A buddy came in and said, you ought to come into 20th Century.
Okay.
And I said, I don't know anything about real estate. Thinking of Century 21. I started there to learn the business, got my 6 in 63, started in customer service. I spent a decade there. The last 7 years, I was on the enrollment team with Mega Plans.
Yep.
From there, I moved to
Mega, talk about what that means.
Institutional, over 100 million.
Yep, okay.
So I would go out for weeks at a time and do enrollment education, ongoing education, HR training. Loved it. It was a great place to start my career. I remember sitting down with Mr. Stowers eating lunch, and he would talk about, the need to build up each individual to help them to reach their financial goals. What a great place to start. So then from there,
awesome foundation.
Oh, awesome. Went to a regional powerhouse, UMB, worked on their record-keeping side. They were purchased by M&I, worked there for several years, really as an advisor on micro plans.
Okay.
ING came calling. I worked there for 1 year in the service side as a client relations manager, got promoted to a regional vice president. Spent the last 20 years wholesaling in a 4-state territory. I had Arkansas, Oklahoma, Kansas, and Kansas City, Missouri. But I've retired the orange jersey. I've hung it up for better pastures. I'm so excited about what you all are doing here and so excited to be a part of it and bring my experience to it.
I'll tell you what's great about Jesse is we worked with you on 401k plans. You were with Voya. It was one of our great platforms. We used a couple of really good record keepers. You were one of them. And what made us so excited when you said you were retiring was the way that you take care of clients. Your phone is always on. You answer every call. If you don't know the answer, you find it out, and you're unbelievably responsive. And from our standpoint, when we look at finding the right people, you fit the bill. So tell me a little bit about what attracted you to Prevail, having so much success in your previous career. You had an opportunity to kind of hang up the cleats, right? Or in your judo world, whatever
the gi,
hang up the gi,
yeah.
right? And then, but you're coming back for this last hurrah. Tell us what drew you to Prevail.
Well, first of all, I got to work with you. That was part of it, and I still had energy. It was time really to move from working with advisors in my territory to have an opportunity to work direct. And I got to have a lot of experience over the last 20 years, seeing what some of the best advisor consultants were doing, as well as mentoring and helping new advisors and consultants. And when this opportunity arose, it was an opportunity to take all of that experience and say, I want to work direct with the client now. I want to help the client. The industry has changed.
Sure has.
The service models have changed. And I think where I can really add value is understanding that landscape and knowing that you all were already perceiving a lot of this, not only with the multifaceted ancillary services that you provide, but the unbelievable service. Mm-hmm. This is a missing link in the landscape today. And to see what you all were already doing, I said, I got to be a part of it.
Yeah. Well, we were super excited to have you join the organization. We believe a lot in culture. Our core values and our mission as an organization, and you fit the bill on every one of them. So it was a big deal. I think we're as excited to have you as you are to be here. So let's pivot a little bit. You have a unique background in judo. Talk a little bit about what that means and how does that relate to what you do every day?
That's a great question. I actually have my black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and judo. I've been training for over 30 years. I was actually discussing with some of the advisors here before how I'd grown up, I'd done some boxing. I saw the first UFC.
Okay, I won't make you mad.
No, you don't.
Don't beat me up.
I saw the first UFC, and I saw this little skinny Brazilian guy that grappled, Royce Gracie, beating everybody. and I thought, I need to learn how to wrestle. I joined a local judo club. Great instructor, great guys. Actually, Heather Hecadon's husband, Chris, was one of the top local judo players. He competed at a very high level and moved from there, transitioned to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Judo is an Olympic sport. It focuses on big throws, quick submissions, and pins. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu says, once you've taken them to the ground, the fight just started, you got to tap them out. I say all that because number one, I've had the ability to coach. Yeah. And coaching is a lot of the same analysis we do in the financial realm, right?
To learn skill.
You have to identify what the problem is, what you're trying to resolve, and how to help it. And the bottom line is jiu-jitsu is a big chess match.
Yeah.
And we live in a world where practicality rules. In jiu-jitsu, you can say this works or that, but you know if it does or not on the mat. It's the same reality in what we do every day. We want to give people the right answers. We want to be high level. We want to get our black belt. And if somebody's a white belt, you don't want them to quit.
Right.
We want to gather them in and say, be a part of what we're doing, whether it's here, part of the business, or whether it's what we do as a business.
Such a good analogy, because everybody looks at retirement planning and they're like, can I get there? That's the white belt, right? And you do a great job of coaching and mentoring them to do it. Now, as we start to kind of land the plane, you have an amazing wife.
Yes.
And an awesome family.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about it.
Married for over 30 years, beautiful wife, and 2 children. I've got I call them children, they're really young adults. My son, that he goes to UCM and he wrestles, and my beautiful daughter, she's a photographer. We are very close as a family. We do the greatest blessing I have is on Fridays, my kids want to go out to eat with my wife and I.
Great.
And every Sunday we cook for our family. We probably have about 20 people there. We have my father, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, friends, and we just gather. And I think there's something special about breaking bread. You put your heart, your love, your art, your science, because you like.
Now, I'll tell you, if you go out to lunch or dinner with Jesse, he's going to eat off your plate.
Be careful.
Right, so be careful.
It's family style.
It's
we
family
put
style.
the fork there.
You're a foodie.
That's how we've done it.
It's great. Well, I will tell you, from our standpoint, to have your wife, your kids, your family, and you here, we're blessed beyond imagination. We're so excited to have you here. Welcome to Prevail.
Love
and
it.
For everybody that gets to work with Jesse, 401k participants, plan sponsors, there's nobody better as far as taking care of the client. So welcome to Prevail.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Glad to be here. Love it. Thank you.